Hi everyone, welcome to Python Basics series. In this session we'll be talking about functions. So we'll learn what are functions and why we use them. We'll define and call functions. We will do different types of functions, the kind of functions with parameters, with default values and return values. We'll do some advanced concepts of keyword arguments and variable length arguments. And we'll wrap up with some more rude example to solidify our understanding. So functions are reusable blocks of code designed to perform a specific task. They help make your programs modular, organized, and easier to maintain. Instead of writing the same code repeatedly, you define a function and call it wherever you need it. So we'll go on and define a function. In Python, you define a function using the def keyword, like a def, followed by the function name and the parentheses. The code block within the function is indented. That's all. That's the structure of a function in Python. So I'll go on and do a definition. We use the def keyword like this. Def, then we put the function name, and we pass the parameters. In some case, the parameters come in the parentheses, and in the block like this. That's where our code. That's where we define the functionality we need inside our function. So that's all about the declaration of a function. So we'll do an example of a function which prints the greeting hello world. Right. We'll rename this function to greeting. Right. So here I will call the function greeting. Right. Let me run the code, and you see the output here. We will see that we have the output hello world. Right. So this is a basic function. We'll head on to functions with the parameters. So parameters allows you to pass data into a function so that it can perform tasks based on that data. Right. So we'll do an example here. We have a function greet user. Right. So in this function we pass a parameter name. Right. Then we print hello and the name, which is passed as a parameter, which we received as a parameter into our function. So I will do a simple calling here, right? Greet user. Tanaka. Right. So I passed the parameter Tanaka. So in this function, we define the function greet user here. So the function greet user receives a parameter, a single parameter. Right. So here when we are calling the function, we are passing the parameter into the function like this. So as you can see here, we used our name in the body of our function, right? The name which we take from the parameter here. So we run our code, see how it works. So as you can see here, the output is hello Tanaka. Using the name which we declared, so the name which we passed as a parameter into our function. Right. So functions can return values using the return statement. The return statement which allows us to store and use the result of a function. Right. So for example, we want a function that adds two numbers. Let me declare the function let's have add a and b. So here we are passing the parameters a and b like this. So down here I'll call the function, I'll declare variable result. Here I'm passing my parameters as 1 and 2. Here my a as the first parameter I put a 1, my b as the second parameter I put a 2. So I will print the result. So as you can see here, I'll run the code, and you can see here the output is 3. So we had the sum of 3. So the thing is, the return statement allows us to store and use the result of a function. We store the result of our function add in a variable which we declared here is string, right? And we can use this result anyway we want within the scope which the declaration reaches, right? So there are also default parameter values. You can assign default parameter values so that if no argument is provided, the default is used, right? So I'll do an example here. Right, I will define a function greet user. The function greet user receives a default parameter. Name is equal to guests, right? So here we print the name using an f function here, right? So what I will do here is let me call the function greet user here. Greet user here. As you can see, when I run it, I get the outcome hello guests, right? I can also, what I can do here is I can change. If this function does not receive an argument, it will print hello guest. But if I pass an argument in it, let's say I type in hello Ruvarash like this. So this one, as you can see here, on the first call of the function where we did not put a parameter, we got a hello guest, but here we put a parameter name here, and so the default is overridden by the parameter which we passes to the function, right? So there are also keyword arguments in Python. When calling functions, you can specify arguments by the parameter name, making your code more readable and allowing you to pass arguments in any order, right? So here I will do some demonstration with another function here. We define it display info. We put in here name age, right? And we print right. we print here hello, name, and age. So what we can do here, with the use of keywords, right? I'll call the function here display info. Right. So in this one, we are not going to pass the parameters in their respective order like we were doing in our previous examples. So here we will use the keywords of the function. Right. As you realize, we declared our function with the keywords name and age. So here I will pass in using the keywords like this. Age is equal to 25, name is equal to John. So I did not do them in the order in which they were declared, in which we declared the function parameters. So that's another aspect of functions. We can pass the parameters as a keyword arguments, and you can run this code here. It's hello John, it picked the name right and the age, and here's our output. Right. Also in Python functions we have what we call variable length arguments. Sometimes you need to pass an arbitrary number of arguments to a function. Python provides two ways. They are star args, like the asterisk key, star args, and there are also star keyword arguments like this. Right. So for the star args here, it's for non-keyword arguments, but for the keyword arguments we use this one. Right. So I will do an example using for the non-keyword arguments. So I will define a function. I will name it send numbers. So some numbers. Right. And here I will use the variable length argument for non-keyword arguments. Right. As you can see here, so here we will pass the argument. Let me call the function and see how it behaves here. So I'll print some. Right, and here I'm using a non-keyword variable length arguments. So here I am printing the sum of numbers from 1 to 5. I've put numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Maybe I will add another number, 9. Right. So this is how you do it using non-keyword arguments. It's a tuple actually. We will pass in a tuple as parameters in a function with variable length arguments for non-keywords, but for the keyword arguments it's a dictionary. So I will run the code right here. As you can see here, we go to our sum, which is a 24, and we will pass our non-keyword arguments here as a tuple. Right, so that was it about the non-keyword arguments for variable length. Right, so we'll move on to using keyword arguments as parameters of variable length. Right, So here I will declare a function def print details. Right. So that is as before we use this this keyword here. So what we do here is the keyword arguments are passed as a dictionary, so they have a key and a value. All right. So what we want to do here is we want to print the key and the value. So as we operate with dictionaries, like in our previous sessions, we're using the for loop. So it's for key and value in keyword argument items. We print the key and the value here using an if function. So I will pass the parameters here as we call the function. Right, it's print print details, name. I'll put name is equal to Alice. Age is equal to 24. Seat city is equal to New York. Right, so I'll run this code. As you can see here, we get our output, name Alice, age 25, city New York. So this is how we do it with keyword arguments, right? Which are passed as a dictionary. Right, so now we want to discuss about Lambda functions. Lambda functions are small anonymous functions that are defined with the Lambda keyword. They are useful for small simple operations. Right? So here I will do a Lambda function here, like multiply. I will declare a function multiply. Right. Matter of fact, it's a variable. It will just store the returned value of our Lambda function. We'll do it like multiply right. As you can see here, multiply, you have x, y, and the operation is x multiplied by y, right? So what you do here, right, as you can see here, we declare the name of our function here. It's multiply, which is of a lambda. We will declare a lambda function here, lambda, and it receives the parameters x, y, and it operates them this way, and we get our output. Right, so I will use it in the next lines. It's print. We want to print our product. Multiply, and here we'll pass our parameters 2 and 3. So our parameters in their respective order, for x is 2, y is 3, and we run our function, right, and we get here our product is 6, right? So this is how we use lambda functions, right? Here I'll wrap up with some example. We want to calculate the area of a circle using functions, right? Right. So here let's put together a function that calculates the area of a circle given its radius. Right. I will import a library math here. Right. So we define our function, calculate area. Right, so pass in the radius, right, as a parameter. So as we know that the area of a circle is pi radius squared, pi multiplied by radius squared. So return math pi radius squared, like here, right? So we will now calculate the area by calling the function. So area is equal to calculate area or passing the parameter 5 here as the radius of our circle, and I'll print the area. Right. So the area of the circle, yeah, it might come as a floating number, so we want to display its number of decimals, so only want two decimal places. All right, so I'll run this code and let's see the output. Right, as you can see here, we got our area, right, here with the area, the value of the area rounded to 2 decimal places, right? So in conclusion, functions are a vital part of Python programming that allow you to write cleaner, reusable, and more organized code. So practice your own functions, experiment with the parameters, retain values, and explore some advanced features like the Lambda functions. Feel free to experiment with the functions in your projects and share your examples or questions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to follow for more.